I heard this really cool thing the other day, George.
Yeah, what was that?
This guy said, I'm so busy. Because, you always know someone who's like super busy. We all have that friend who, no matter how busy you are, they are busier. Like, you're like, hey,
I'm flat out.
I have...
Don't even believe you.
Yeah, I am super busy. They're like, bro, you're busy. Bro, I'm way busier. You're like, bro, I've slept 4 hours last night. I slept 2.
What's sleep?
Yeah.
What's that?
Like,
Haven't stopped.
You're like, I ran 2 marathons this week. You're like, I ran 2 marathons this morning. You're like, everyone has that one friend.
Yeah.
Right? And I heard this thing the other day. He's like, I am so busy that the other day I passed myself walking the other way. Like, what?
I haven't heard that
How?
one.
Yeah, me either. I was like, wait, what? He's like so busy that he walked past himself.
Yeah.
That's how busy he was. Past himself, doing something else. Yeah. Doing 2 things at once.
No fucking
I
around.
thought that was one worth sharing. But do you know who is busy?
Who?
People who work in the construction space.
You reckon? I reckon it's
This
easy.
is-
Walk
hey?
in the park.
I don't know. I've got a bone to pick with the industry, with you, because you're the
You should. I'm the master.
master of the industry,
Yeah, I'm the best builder in Australia.
the best builder in Australia.
For those of you that know, no.
Yeah, and if you don't know,
Get to a builder summit and you will.
so here's my bone to pick. Okay, every builder I speak with tends to say the same thing around a couple of things.
Mhm.
One, every builder cries broke. Everyone I speak, sorry, you know what? I shouldn't say that. That's not true. But a large portion.
Yeah, it's a fair
That's
generalization.
not true. Yeah. I got builder clients who are amazing, and they like making bank, doing well, never zero victimization.
Mhm.
But then what I see a lot in the space as well is I see a lot of people tend to. It's victimization is the perfect word, right? It's like, this is hard. We don't make money. So much risk. People don't want to pay. Blah blah blah. One, every single builder I know, every single one. I don't know one who doesn't do this. Every single one drives a nice car.
Ah, you
Every-
reckon? That's funny.
I don't know any builders who don't. I don't know any builders who don't drive a nice car.
That's funny.
Okay,
I
I
did
don't-
not think that's where you were going with that.
that's the first thing. Of course, you don't think that's wrong. This is all about what's it called when you guide someone one way and then you take them the other?
Abracadabra.
Yeah, yeah.
That's one.
That's what it's all about. But another thing I see in the space as well is I see so many people, George talked to me about the fact that they can't get people to pay for stuff. Okay, we get people all the time saying, oh, but the lead went with the cheaper option, or I couldn't get him to buy, or they don't want to spend money, or it's the economy, or the people, or blah, 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 or the city. I get that a lot, the area. And it's like, well, just work in a different area. But what I get to see firsthand, and I consider myself quite lucky for this, is I get to see you do business with people right in front of me. We share an office, and I, for a fact, know that I would be surprised if someone came to me. I'm going to say words that have never been said. These words have never been uttered in human history.
Shit.
You understand?
Yep.
We went with Pascon because they were cheaper. Never been said.
That's-
First time.
That is. I feel upset. you
First
saying that.
time.
I would be so upset if that happened.
First time in human history, those words get said. Okay.
It's funny.
And no, but really, I see it first, and I think there are lessons in this that people can take away that they're not doing. And I don't think it's anything like, hey man, you got to go and fucking buy a Ferrari. Like it's nothing that is. I truly believe it's nothing that's outside of most people's reach, in the sense of you just need to know what those things are to do, what the beliefs are to have. You know what I mean? So if it's all right with you,
No.
I want to share a little bit about, well, let's start off with telling me, like, why? Why is Pascon never the cheapest? Right? What is it that you're doing differently at Pascon that people are listening to this podcast, whether you're a builder or a trade or anything like that?
I mean, it's relevant
Or
in
any
so
business
many
owner.
industries.
Yeah, business owner in general.
Yeah.
Like,
It's any industry you can apply this.
Yeah. If you sell anything you do in any form of manner, let's start off with, explain to me why. Why do you think those words have never been said? Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, like, would you say anyone has everyone sat there? Like, Pascon's definitely the cheapest here.
I've never been the cheapest builder. Even when I first started out. I believe you. Even when I first started out. Now, don't get me wrong. There was times when I've dropped my price when I first started more so to levels that I should never have done. Like, and this was just not understanding the game at the time. And early on in business.
Sometimes it's desperation.
It was just like I wanted the job.
You need to get the job.
Yeah, it's a particular project, and it was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back for me as well. It was at a time when I'd priced so much work, and I kept losing by 50, by 100, by 200. I kept losing all the jobs I was pricing.
As in you were overpriced?
Each and every single time. Like I priced in my first year of operation, I priced probably $20 million worth of work, and I won one project in that whole year.
So for context, how many projects would that mean?
Okay, that would have been 10
projects, 20 projects?
No, I reckon it'd be closer to 20 odd projects at least. You know, 15 to 20, I can't tell you the figure. It was thereabouts, whatever it was.
But somewhere in that range, yeah.
And it was that townhouse developments because that's what we had been building a lot of previously. So we were really good at that. We'd partner. So I was very much the scenario of I had one major client. Okay, I had one whale. He just built with me and no one else. And I had all these projects and I was like, how good is life? This is easy. He was a never ending resource of money. It was fine. And then what happens one day? That whale went away. I was like, holy shit. I was so dependent on this one person. Now I have to go out and hunt for my food.
Yeah, which is a big mistake. A lot of people
absolutely,
make,
absolutely. And it's comfortable. Like, fuck, like there's part of it which like, I wish I still had a whale, you know? But the idea is go and find yourself 10 whales. So if one whale goes away, it's no big deal. Regardless. So coming out of that, we were building a lot of townhouses for this gentleman. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to build townhouses. That's what I'm good at. So I started hitting that market. And we priced 20 odd jobs. And I kept losing each and every project. Like I'd made all the allowances. Every single person I spoke to, every single one of them was like, wow, thank you so much. You give the best tenders. We really want to use you. Like we like you so much, but there's just such a huge price difference between your price and the other price. And like there was the last one I ever priced like that was, because I also used to always do free quotes as well. Like anyone that came to me, yeah, I'll price your job. Customer's always right, and put in so much effort. You know, I would dedicate 4 to 6 weeks on the tender. I would do all the takeoffs. I'd do everything that was required. And then I kept falling short. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I had to get out of that pattern. That's the first thing I recognized. I was in a pattern where people weren't valuing what I was putting forward. They didn't value my product, which is why they never bought it. And I was like, well, what has to change here? So I remember I priced this last project, and as I said, it was a straw that broke the camel's back. It was 3 townhouses in Oakley. And I was 300 grand more expensive than the next price. And these were mum and dad developer, so inexperienced people just literally looking at the bottom line. And they loved me. Like they were like, George, you're our builder. Like, let's make this happen. Let's do all that sort of stuff. Like back and forth and back and forth. I'm like, guys, this price, I go, send me the quote, okay? Remove the name. I don't care who it is. Just send me the quote. I looked at it and I'm like, guys, he hasn't priced this. He hasn't priced this. He hasn't priced this. We've allowed for all of those things that you have asked for. You're not getting an apples for apples comparison. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. Leave it to us. They went back to him. His price went up by 150 grand in a day. Like they went to him and said, oh, you need to allow these things. 150K just like that. So I was still 150K under. And I'm looking at the price. I'm like, where is this guy getting this pricing from? I've either made a mistake or I'm doing something wrong or whatever it was. And I'm like looking at it. I'm like, nah. So I dropped my price. I cut my margin in half. I was at a price that I should never have. I'm glad I didn't win the job. I was at a price where I should not have gone in at. And I still lost the job by like 100 grand. And this is for 3 simple townhouses. Nothing special, just run-of-the-mill, stock standard buildings. And I still lost the job. They came to me like, no, we're going to go with this other guy. He's cheaper, is this. It came down to price at the end, but we loved you and all that sort of shit. And that just pissed me off. I was like, guys, I'm sorry. You're going to fuck up. Okay, this is a huge mistake. Like at that time, I became bitter to the client, you know, to these people.
Yeah.
Wasn't their fault. Completely my fault. I didn't educate them properly. I didn't qualify them properly. It was completely my fault. And anyway, they went down that path. They went with him. The funny thing, not funny, but at the time I remember driving past the site. It was about a year and a half later, the project still wasn't finished. It was at a downturn in the industry, in the market, not industry. So the sale price when they started, had they finished, if they went with me and we finished the job, they would have got top dollar. Because this guy took 2 years to finish the job, they ended up selling in a shit market and lost all that money that they saved in the build, they lost in the sale on the back end because they then went into a shit market and it affected them that way. So I assume. I'm assuming they ended up selling because that's what they were going to do with it. Anyway, so I looked at that whole year and I said, I'm doing something wrong. It cannot be. How can everyone love me, everyone want to build with me, but no one build with me? And it's like, okay, you're offering a Ferrari to people who can't afford it. It's like I was going to
or people who don't value it.
Who don't value it. Yeah, they could be very well. I could be trying to sell a Ferrari to someone who doesn't want to drive a Ferrari. They're happy with a Mercedes or they're happy with their Holden. And I'm like, no, drive the Ferrari. It's really good. Oh, yeah, I love that. It's a great looking car. But the Holden's $50K. Like, why am I going to go spend $500,000? And so that was the first thing, just my target market. Who am I targeting? Who do I need to be building for? So that's when we then shifted focus and went into the luxury market and go, okay, well, if I'm delivering a premium service, I need to be delivering it to premium clients. So I've shifted my niche and I said, okay, we're going to start looking at architectural builds and architectural homes and doing that aspect of it. And we went down that path, did all that, and started to win some of those projects. I'm like, wow, okay, well, this is great. I'm winning the project with people that value my product, that value my service, that value my expertise. And one thing led to another, And it's not to say I never built townhouse projects again, I did. But the clientele that I was targeting were more focused on the outcome and were focused on the deliverables. It wasn't just price. And I've got this saying, it's not my saying, but it's a saying, when value exceeds price, people make decisions. The reason that people want to build with me or build with someone is they feel that they are getting more than what they are paying when they do so. And as I said, ever since, that day, I've never been the cheapest builder, ever. But there are so many things that you can do to provide additional service and value to your client to get them to see what that means to them. And for me, it starts from the very first point of contact. The very first one. It's not like you get a job come in. Perfect example, I got a project come in the other day through the website. I've spoken to the gentleman. We're going to give him a budget proposal, but I'm going to qualify him. So he has to qualify to work with Pascon. So all of a sudden I went from pricing 20 projects a year or 30 projects a year to pricing 10. And instead of winning one project, I would win 8 out of 10. So my percentage on the return got better, and I was qualifying the people. They wanted to buy my product, and I was able to charge a premium to do so. But people have a scarcity mindset. It's like the ideal client is anyone with a pulse. And I think that's a mistake. And I understand when you first start out because you do want to get revenue in the business, and it might mean you have to drop your price or your terms or something has to give in order for you to get the runs on the board. But then when you get to that point, I think niching is critically important to that.
Yeah, I
sorry for that long-winded explanation.
Nah, that's actually perfect segue because like the thing we get, I can't tell you how many times I have that conversation.
Yeah.
If you like that clip and you want to watch another one, click just over here. And if you want to watch the full episode, click just over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and thanks for watching.